Give me money, oh, oh. 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 Yo, this is your boy Magasco. Pass me the light. And you're watching Hall of Fame with Lyonga.
Yeah, welcome once again to Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Let's start by talking about your origin. A lot of people want to know where you were born, where you grew up, and which part of Cameroon you're from.
So I'm coming from the Northwest. I was born in Magasco and raised between Bamenda and Com, you know, because my parents are both from Com. So my dad used to work in Magasco. So that's where I was born, because that's where we lived, and I'm the last of the family. Okay. I'm the last of three. By 6, we moved to Bamenda, and that's how I spent the rest of my life between Bamenda and Ginicom. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about your siblings first. What was the relationship like?
I mean, I'm the last, so I was being spoiled all the time. You know, they would give me gifts all the time, and then I became naughty because I had everything I wanted, basically.
Okay. Nice. So the first two, are they boys or are you the only boy?
The first is the boy, and then the other is the girl. Okay. My elder sister.
So now you became an artist, a big artist. What about the two?
Teacher.
Okay. They are all in Cameroon?
No, they're all out.
So you're the only child here?
Yeah.
Okay. So how would you describe your childhood?
It was amazing, you know, and it was really amazing till when my dad passed, till when I was 8 years old. Okay. Because things became hard. My mom had to take both responsibilities, and so basically I became a man when I was 8 years old. Okay.
So how did your mom deal with the loss?
I don't even want to recall. It was hard. Even till date, she's still getting out of it. So, yeah.
Okay. How were you able to deal with that loss?
You know, I was just 8, so I couldn't really feel. I didn't really know. I could understand what was going on, but I didn't know it was a long-term thing, and I didn't see like how it's going to affect me, how things are going to change. So I couldn't really feel it. It's when I got to, maybe 20 that I really started feeling like, oh, I don't have a dad, you know? And that's when my own reality set in. So for me, it was a bit confusing.
Okay, so your other two siblings, how did they deal with the loss? Because, I mean, they were older than you.
They were already in the university, so they were good. You know, they were already good to go. They could face it. They were crying. They were actually the ones crying. Me, I was just...
What's going on?
What's going on? My only trauma was everything. I was given everything until I was 8. So the trauma started like I was in a private school. I had to leave the private school now for a government school. Like I had to start assisting my mom. If she's to make puff puff, I have to go sell it. If she was to make akra banana, I have to go sell it. You know, sell clothes. Like I just became a man. Like
automatically. What was your dream job?
When I was a kid, surprisingly, it was becoming a musician, because I was so interested in music. Even when I couldn't say my name, I was already in love with music. I was so interested in music that I would stay focused on the TV. When it's music time, and then when no music is going on, I don't care. Okay. In church, same thing. When it's time for music, when people are singing, I would be so interested.
Yeah, but now I know parents always have a job like a dream job for their kid. What was your parents' dream job for you?
My mom, she wanted me to become a priest.
Oh.
As for my dad, I never really knew what he wanted me.
Yeah, that's
But my mom, she wanted me to be a priest.
Okay. So, I mean, now you're an artist. How did she take it?
She took it badly. At first, she took it badly. My whole family took it badly. They feel like music is not education. It's always been like that. People think music doesn't have education. They kind of felt like I was going to be lost. So they didn't take it well.
Okay. Talking about level of education.
Me, I dropped off university.
Okay.
Because that's where I did history, and then I left after history. I was like, you know what? I couldn't focus because normally I was supposed to graduate and then become a history teacher. But then that wasn't my passion, even though I was very good.
Okay.
You know, I was very good at the subject, but I didn't see myself teaching. I wanted to be a musician.
Now, when did you get into the studio? Your very first session, can you remember?
My very first session, I think it was 2006.
Okay.
There was this guy called Jigga. He's now in the US. He used to produce. He has produced a couple of songs. Even in my Raw Gold EP, he did a song. And back then, we only had like Pentium 1s and Pentium 2s. And the people who had it were privileged people. So we had a friend, they had a Pentium 2 at their house, you know, and we had to negotiate with him, like, when your parents are not there, we would like to. Because Jigga had found out about music producing softwares. He had a demo version and then he wanted to try it out. And that's how that's how I had my first. Then my cousin, I was staying with my cousin who worked at, I think, one ministry. They had computers, and then he had this microphone that he would use while at work and then bring it back home. Computer microphone.
Okay.
It's a small thing like that. So I stole it and then took it, gave it to my friend, and then we had our first session. Like, we negotiated with the other friend who had computer at their house, and then that's how we were able to just do a demo and something like that.
Can you remember the track?
Yeah. Break it down like a soldier. Hey, break it down like a soldier. That was the chorus. That's all I remember.
Okay. Now, your very first session, career-wise. Yes. So what was it?
I think it was with Pazzo. Because we met at a freestyle session, a freestyle show, young talent show, Positive Vibration. And then he was privileged to have a Pentium 2, I guess. That's it. That's when I really started writing raps.
Okay.
Because I was rapping back then. So that's how I had my proper studio session.
Okay. So if you were to say, like if someone were to make a documentary about you, when should they say that you started music professionally?
Professionally, I would say 2012. Because at some point when I started rapping, I couldn't call it professional because I was a lot influenced by American music, American stars, the 50 Cents. 2013, I had found out like I needed to do something a little bit more cultural, something where people from Cameroon would just relate when they see it. And that's how I came out with an album.
Okay.
So I said, I had a meeting with Pazzo. We did an album. I gave him my ideas, and then, you know, and that's when the name Bamenda Boy came. Okay. Because the album was titled Bamenda Boy. So the whole album was really all about my experiences being a Bamenda boy, like sucking Gary. So we had the song Gary Gary. Yeah. Like Lion Loba, which is a mispronunciation of Land Rover. You know, some people will say Lion Loba. Oh. So yeah. So basically the whole album was about my experiences being a Bamenda boy. And when the album came out, I believe that was me being professional already. Okay. Yeah.
So your first record label deal, Empire.
I think my first record label deal was
Mumak.
Was Mumak.
Yes, Mumak. So how did it start? Like, because back then I learned it was owned by Jutnia. Now there was Giovanni. You know. So how was the experience for you?
It was amazing because, as I told you, when I did the album, I'm one of like the first people who started the whole R&B thing, singing in pidgin, all that, you know, stuff like mixing R&B, hip hop, and then fusing jam, because basically that's what I was doing, and they were interested. Like when they came, I remember they came to promote Jovi's EP back then, and they were told there's this guy who was doing something, you know, a bit similar. But Jovi was really ahead of his time because he was fusing it, but it was more of Cameroonian sound and just a little bit of hip hop influence. When they came to Bamenda, they told them about me, and that's how we hooked up, because they found it interesting, and that's how Jude gave me a call. We started working.
So why did you leave, and for how long were you in Mumag?
Like 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, we worked like 2 years, and then at some point everybody had, and it wasn't really, to me it was a family thing, because when we met, we just had this bond, big brother, small brother kind of bond, and everything was just going till it got to a space where everybody wanted to do their own thing. And I had to go continue doing what I was doing. So yeah.
Okay. So it was at that time that Empire came in?
Yeah.
How was the feeling for you?
When I was signed, we had Ex Malaya was there. There was Doug Z. So these artists were like the frontliners. So I had to stay at home for 1 year, not really doing anything after I was signed.
Wow.
So
was it part of the contract?
No, it's what it is. Like I hope young artists will watch this, because it's what it is. Like in a record label, there's internal competition. Who brings the most money is the person they're going to produce.
Oh.
It's just business, right? If you're selling tomatoes and yams and people are buying more of tomato, you are going to invest more in tomatoes, right? So that's just what was going on. Ex Malaya, they were doing like bringing the most money, and then I was new. So they were not really sure if I could stand the chance. I had to stay home for a year, and then when they gave me my opportunity, because they would just test, like, okay, let's try this guy. So when they tested me, I gave it all, and from there, I started building a fan base that made them to want to keep investing. And that's how I became the face of the label.
Oh, okay. So which was the song that, made the record label change their mind?
A couple of songs, because my first shot was Fine Boy, which I did the remix with Doug Z.
Yeah.
And it just took off, and then we did a couple of other songs, and then we had Vulubamba, and then we had Zamba. Like it just kept coming, all VIP, and that's how I just.
Okay, so that means while you were at home for 1 year, you decided to take the time to work on your craft and write songs. Okay. Amazing. Now, before I continue, I really want to know how you got the recording deal with Empire.
Like when we separated, when Milmag, everybody went their way, I did Kumba Market, and that's Kumba Market. Now it was really trending. You know, it was trending all over Northwest and Southwest, and that's how it got Pete's attention. But by then, I had a friend too who was close to Pete, a rapper, and I was working with him. We had a couple of songs together, and he was also telling me he knows Pete. He wanted us to create like a young Empire thing where we're the young artists, not like, because we wanted to create another wing of Empire where it will be very young artists just doing their thing, rap and singing and everything. He had learned, like, people have been talking to him about me, and then he showed interest, and that's how invited me over. We spoke, and yeah.
So what were the terms and conditions?
It was a basic classic record deal. 3 albums, 5 years.
5 years, 3 albums. Okay, I know record labels always come with money, so I want to know, how much were you signed for? No,
I refused. I turned down any money that was given to me.
Oh.
That's how I was raised. I don't really take money that I didn't work for.
But that was money you were supposed
And I don't borrow money too. Like, I don't borrow. Even my friends, they know. If you come to me like, oh, I have this problem, I need 20K. If I have 2K, I'll give you. Like, bro, that's for you. I don't. And if I come to my friend, I'll be like, I have this problem, and I need 20K. If you also have 2K, you give me. If you are giving me the 20K, just know that I'm not giving you back the money. I'm not borrowing. I don't borrow either ways. So when I was signed, they kind of proposed me like advance payments and stuff. I'm like, nah, I'm good. When money starts coming, we share.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how much did they propose? How much was this advance payment?
I think it was them getting me a house, like a place to stay. That's when things started working a bit, when it's, you know, because it wasn't like advance when I signed naturally, because traditionally they're supposed to give me some money when I signed, but that wasn't the case. So when things started, you know, people started paying attention.
To you, yeah.
They came up with, you know, like a payment plan. I wasn't interested.
Okay.
So.
Wow. Now you're definitely the first person I've heard this from. An artist signs the first thing. How much are you paying me? How much is my monthly allowance?
That is a trap, and I keep trying to sell it out to artists. Like, if you sign a deal, I would rather prefer you don't take any money. You know, because it's a loan. It's basically a loan that they're giving to you, and if you take, what if you are not able to pay? What if something happens and you're not able to pay? What are you going to do?
So whenever they have this opportunity.
And plus they can use it against you tomorrow, because you might not want to be with them tomorrow. Now you're owing the money.
Yeah.
So
and you'll be forced to pay. Yeah. Okay. Now, how would you describe your stay at Empire?
It was amazing. It was amazing because once they gave me my chance, I took it firmly. I gave my all, and at a certain point, nothing could be done without me. Like, at some point, I made them to discover me bit by bit. I made them to discover Magasco, the singer, and then later on, they discovered Magasco, the writer.
Yeah.
And then later on, they discovered Magasco, the producer. So it became more and more interesting, and you know, they just
couldn't do without
you know.
you.
So at some point, I became the artistic director of the record label, and
wow.
Even though it wasn't official, but I was just I just took the role because I would step in, or if they do songs, I would be the one to be like, okay, this song is okay to come out, or this song needs this song needs that. So basically, it was amazing. It was amazing.
You mentioned that it's record label is more like an in-house competition, yeah? Now you got in, there's the Xmalaya, the Dogs. How did it feel seeing someone who met them, you know, taking over and becoming, let me put it in a way, the favorite and the face of this brand? How was it?
Well, the advantage I had too was when I came, they were like a year or 2 years prior to the end of their career, their contract.
Okay.
So that was also another advantage I had. So while I was picking up, they were about to leave.
Okay.
So it kind of.
So the contracts were non-renewable.
I don't know. Like, I don't know about their contracts, but I just know when I was there, I saw them leaving and stuff.
Okay. But then how was your relationship like with them? Was there ever a time you guys got into conflict?
Nah. Man, Roger is like big bro to me. Even though we haven't met like that. We've met like twice. But I mean, he's a big brother. Like, every time I give him that respect when we meet. And even Dogsy too, like, that's my brother. But it's not like we're friends, it's not like we talk all the time, but the energy is felt. You know this person respects you, you know this person, wherever they are, it's a place of peace. Because it doesn't hide. When somebody doesn't like you, you know.
Yeah, sure. Talking about Dogsy real quick before I get back to you. He's nowhere to be found musically. How do you feel about that? I
don't know. You know, we all have our individual struggles, you know, and we never know. We never know what he's up to. Maybe he's preparing a bomb. Maybe he's going through some certain life, you know, hustles like that are slowing him down for the moment. Or maybe he's at the best point in his life now.
Okay.
So we don't really know.
Okay. Now, there's this. I mean, let me say you rumor, because I bet you've heard it too, where they would say that at Empire you were highly exploited. Now, looking at it way back, do you feel this assessment is true?
I mean, I feel like it was how can I say it? like if I was given the same opportunity, I wouldn't change anything. I would not change anything.
You still be signed.
Because you have to go through everything that you have to go through to be who you are. The things you go through, the hard and the good, because we had good times. If it's about the whole work thing, we had good times. You know, the problem we had was at some point I wanted to be part of the business. I wanted to understand the business. I wanted him and the whole team to teach me the business. And that's where we started having hustles. We started having little misunderstandings. And fortunately too, for me, my contract was, you know, already 5 years and even more. So I just had to leave because I wanted to learn the business, which is what I'm doing already.
Okay. I didn't want to let you in, but we heard it was difficult for him to let you go.
Yeah, because I understand, like I perfectly understand, because of I told you exactly my role in the company at, you know, back then. I was doing a lot, you know, writing songs, making beats, producing for others, and even producing for myself. Yeah. So
let's talk the earnings. When you got signed, you didn't want to take no money. Finally, you're making it. So the pay you were getting, was it what you deserved? Because at that moment, that's what you're working for. Did you ever feel like the amounts that they were giving you, all the benefits, the luxury that came with the contract is actually what you deserve, or you were being underpaid?
Well, I don't know, because I just trusted everything. Like I when I was signed, first of all, that was an opportunity that was given to me, you know, and I would never, you know, talk down on that, because that's what gave me my spotlight. I was desperate. Okay. Even if they gave me what kind of deal, I would have signed it back then. Okay. Because I needed it. You know, I was at a point in my life where I was already frustrated. I was about leaving music. I was about even stopping music, you know. Because I was doing my small business that was giving me some money, since I didn't go through to become a teacher. So I was into friperie business. And then the music zeal was already dying slowly. So when I had this opportunity, I was like, I need to grab it. And yeah, when they signed me, it was a fair deal of 50-50. But because of how grateful I was, I blindly like trusted everyone. Like, okay, you know what? I don't care about the business. Handle the business. I trust you're going to make me rich. So I don't care. So whatever they were giving me in my head was, I was just taking command, like orders. Go there, do this, go there, do this. And then later on, whatever they gave me, I would be like, even if it's not enough in my head, I'm like, no, these people have a bigger plan for me. Maybe this is just to keep me going, and then the time is going to come where they're going to be like, oh wow, surprise, you have this. Because I've seen it in some shows where artists work for labels, and then at some point they just come with like these huge checks, like, bro, you know, like you've seen stuff where like they'll just give an artist like a house and car, and like this is all yours, and like yours, not like a loan. So in my head, that's what I was thinking. And then as time went by, things stayed the same, and I was like, you know what, I need to also learn this business too. I need to know what's going on. I need to see what's really going on with the numbers, and you know, basically, yeah.
Okay, I would love for you to call figures. When you say numbers, how much were you getting?
I can't put a finger on a particular thing, because I don't know. That's the thing. What I was receiving was basically upkeep money.
How much?
I can't put the finger on it.
So they were giving like 10, 15?
No, upkeep money is not 10. Magasco now.
300.
Magasco does like shopping. If I want to do shopping, I'll get like 200. If I wanted, I was decent upkeep money, right?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so that was it.
So now, you finally realized that things were not going the way you were hoping to, like, right?
Yeah.
What was your reaction like before you approached them? That, okay, fine, cool, teach me the business. But then when you realized things were not changing for the better, in other moments you noticed you were being used, what did you do?
Well, I wouldn't say being used.
Okay, exploited.
Not even being exploited.
Okay, take it for granted then. No?
Still, what I'm saying is, these people gave me like a platform.
Okay.
You understand? These people gave me a platform. The only thing that was missing in this platform, because I was benefiting from this platform, I was benefiting being a star and everything, becoming a household name and everything. That was the benefit. People, I know artists who would pay money to be there, you know, would pay actually just to get that household name without making anything. But my place was I needed to understand the business too.
Okay.
So I didn't mind whatever I was making. I didn't mind because I was already grateful with the fact that I'm here, like I'm being placed here, right? So at some point now I'm like, okay, now it's been 5 years. I haven't I don't know the business. I know the show, but I don't know the business. And then also I'm a father. I recently became a father. So guys, I need to know the business. So that's basically what happened. So,
Okay. So now things didn't work in your favor. You decided to leave.
Yeah.
What was your plan? When you made up your mind, okay, I'm leaving Empire, what plan did you have?
It was already an old plan because even before I went to Empire, I had created B-Boy Records.
Oh.
You know, B-Boy Records has been there for a long time. So the idea was there, and I started already doing T-shirts of B-Boy. I remember when I was signed, they told me to stop wearing those B-Boy T-shirts and stuff. I should focus because it's confusing the fans. So I should focus on Empire and stuff. So I had to stop. So immediately when things were not going the way I wanted, I just went back to the old plan. Like, okay, let me just focus on my B-Boy that I started years ago and see where it takes me.
Okay. Now, there are so many artists in different record labels. Every day on social media, we see them bringing their fights and their problems. As someone who has been through it, what advice do you have for them?
Internet is not the place, or even media is not the place to take your problems. I feel like you should face the people you had to deal with. Face them, talk to them, tell them what you want, you know, and if it has to go legal, take it legal, but don't bring it on the media because it's not going to help you. Media is going to add people's opinions and it's only going to make things sour for you. So you can only do it behind the scenes and try to just clear everything. So because music is a spiritual thing, you need to be in a very good place to be able to just produce, you know, and you don't want, because once it gets to the media, it never goes back. Tomorrow you might be doing something, you're way past that, and somebody will still come up like, oh, remember what happened? You did this. It's still trying to make you, take you back to those. So
no, you don't want that. Okay. And those who are yet to be signed, what are some of the things they should put attention or pay attention to before signing a contract with a record label? Before
signing a contract, first of all, pray over the contract. Try to read the contract yourself. What you don't understand, take it to a lawyer and make sure you have a manager. Get a manager. So once you're signing the contract, you have a lawyer and a manager.
Okay.
Yeah.